Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please prepare yourself for prayer in the manner of your tradition. Dear God of many names and all nations, thank you for the opportunity to gather here in this place and with these people. Thank you for Alexander Campbell, his vision of this place, and for the many Bethanians, students, staff, and faculty alike, who have come after him and made this place so special. I pray today for guidance, strength, and courage. Help us to engage each other in meaningful discussion, to see the beauty in ourselves and in those around us, and to dare to dream big. Remind us to be swift to love, to make haste to show kindness to a stranger and friend alike, to seek justice in all things, to help those who are less fortunate than ourselves, and to light the lamps of learning to dispel the shadows of ignorance. Amen.
Good morning. Let's do that again. Good morning. That's better. Today we officially begin the 2019-2020 academic year. I welcome our incoming freshmen to Bethany College. I trust your journey in higher education will be rewarding now and for your lifetime after graduation. I also welcome back today our sophomores and our juniors. You know your school well by now, and you are leaders on this campus, and I trust your ongoing dedication and commitment to your studies will lead you toward your goals to higher and higher achievements. I also welcome back, especially today, our returning seniors. What an exciting year this will be for you. You have long established friendships and new ones yet to meet. And I'm sure, let me try that in English. I'm sure you are looking toward the comprehensive exam, excitement and fun, and senior projects. And hey, while you're at it on those comprehensive exams, let's do it with distinction. May will be here before you know it. It is rapidly approaching. I trust that you will study hard and prepare yourself to walk across the stage, having completed all of the requirements and earned your undergraduate degree. I also welcome our graduate, transfer, and international students as we continue to build a strong community of international and graduate professionals on our campus. I trust you will find Bethany College a home and an excellent place for professional development. Along with our students, today is a moment when I have the privilege to thank our hardworking staff who labor tirelessly to undergird education at Bethany. Would the members of our staff please stand? Many are in the back. Please join me in thanking them. Last but certainly not least, I am pleased to welcome back our long-standing as well as newly appointed esteemed and talented faculty. In their capable hands, I trust the students will experience meaningful and significant growth. Will our faculty please stand? Join me in thanking them. Convocation is a tradition that goes back to the 7th century in Canterbury, where hooded robes were worn to distinguish the guild of bishops from the regions from which they gathered. It was considered the authoritative assembly. Thereafter, universities adopted the use of academic regalia to distinguish the learned guild of professors from those of the pupils and students under their instruction. The convocation, therefore, is officially the gathering of the authoritative assembly and the beginning of a new term. The variety of colors and markings on each robe that you see in front of you testifies that the professor has received his or her training, but also the rank and the discipline in which they are qualified. At Bethany College, the tradition of convocation is a time of welcome and assurance. The regalia before you is a reminder to each of you who study at Bethany that those who teach you are learned and qualified. They will teach and advise you and lead you toward your professional goals. Students, as we begin this year, let them guide you. Trust them to lead you toward critical thinking, toward hard questions, toward thoughtful reflection, and to assist you as you seek to find your unique voice in academic inquiry and in academic integrity. Show them your respect. They are qualified, and they deserve your esteem and utmost effort. Along with regalia, you'll also note there are elements in this convocation: the national anthem, installations of student officers, recognitions of accomplishment, and Bethany's alma mater. Each aspect of convocation is historical and intentional. It ties us together as community. It honors our place within the United States of America. It honors our distinct history as Bethany College, and it honors our leaders and the achievements among us. Join me today as we partake, like generations before us, in this occasion, rich with meaning, on this day, the founder Alexander Campbell's birthday. The theme for this school's year is one team, one tradition, one Bethany. As we begin this year, we will live together in intentional community. One team means that this is a place of belonging. We are all a part of this team, and we are accountable to one another. One tradition means that we have a shared history as Bethanians, and this history is 180 years in the making of countless leaders in this country who have gone before you, who have done phenomenal things in the history of our nation and in our world. This is the tradition that you stand in. One Bethany means that we are here for one another. It means that we show up whenever possible. If there's a game, a team, coaches have worked hard, athletes have worked hard, we show up. If there's a lecture, an academic presentation, we have guests, we show up. And it means we have pride in our school. We are one Bethany. I invite you this year to think of Bethany as a place where you can truly flourish if you choose to take advantage of what is before you. We at Bethany, in times such as this, will continue to be a firm, resolved, and standing institution of integrity. We will be welcoming, open and affirming, and committed to community and academic rigor. We welcome all who take seriously their role as a member of this community, of this one Bethany College, to this home where you belong and from which you will graduate, and from which you will endeavor to make us proud and change the world. I welcome you. I'm pleased to announce today that we signed this morning in the President's office in articulation with Appalachian School of Law. Justice McClanahan is our speaker today, Supreme Court Justice, and now Dean of that law school. This will be a 3-3 articulation, 3 years at Bethany College, 3 years in law school, and it is official as of today. Thank you, Justice. I say B-I, you say? I say B-I, you say? I say B-I, you say? Stand up, Bethanians. One more time at the top of your lungs. I want to see that you're in the house. Ready? I say B-I, you say? I say B-I, you say? Let 1920 begin. You may be seated.
The scripture reading for today is from Proverbs chapter 2, verses 1 through 11. My son, if you accept my words and store up my commands within you, turning your ear to wisdom and applying your heart to understanding, indeed, if you call out for insight and cry aloud for understanding, and if you look for it as for silver and search for it as for hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He holds success in store for the upright. He is a shield to those whose walk is blameless. For he guards the course of the just and protects the way of his faithful ones. Then you will understand what is right and just and fair, every good path. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will protect you, and understanding will guard you. If everyone would now join me in a unison prayer in your bulletin. The people seated and bowed God of wisdom, creator of heaven and earth. As we begin a new year of school, we offer you thanks and praise for the gift of new beginnings and for the opportunity to learn and wonder. We pray for the faculty, students, staff, and administration of Bethany College. May this year be of hope and hard work, of dedication and devotion. Be with us as we face the challenge of new tasks, the fear of failure, the expectations of parents, friends, and self. In our learning and our teaching, may we grow in service to others and in love for your world. Amen.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountains' majesties above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet whose stern impassioned stress a thoroughfare of freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God bend thy every flaw, confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law.
I don't have to do anything? I can just read it. Okay. Repeat after me. I hereby affirm that I will faithfully serve the students of Bethany College, act in accordance with the Student Government Association Constitution, and fulfill all duties and responsibilities
of the President, of the Vice President.
I will, to the best of my ability, strive to achieve the high level of expectation that accompanies my office of the Student Government Association.
The Anna Ruth Bourne Award stimulates scholarship among the women's social groups. A silver cup is awarded to the recognized sorority whose active membership earns the highest scholarship standing each semester. Please help me congratulate Alpha Xi Delta. The Kirk Woolery Award encourages scholarship among the men's social groups. A gold cup is held by the recognized fraternity whose membership earns the highest scholarship standing each semester. Please help me congratulate Beta Theta Pi. Richard B. Kenny First Year Leadership Award is granted to the first-year student who has demonstrated outstanding scholarship, leadership, and character at Bethany, who has become actively involved in Bethany, and who has contributed service and devotion to the college community. The student must achieve at least a 3.50 grade point average during their first year at Bethany. This award honors the late Dr. Kenny, T.W. Phillips Professor of Old Testament Literature. The nominee has excelled in the classroom, earning an overall GPA of 3.9 for the first year at Bethany. They are bright, inquisitive, and actively engaged within the classroom. One faculty member wrote of the candidate, "The student is continuing to demonstrate leadership as they begin their sophomore year. The student currently serves as a mentor in the Ponton Mentor Program and is also serving as a peer mentor in the BFYE program. The student is again working on the symposium and even contacted me over the summer with ideas for the event. I have personally found the student to be motivated and steadfast in the pursuit of activities, feelings and empathy for others, and a positive role model for other students to emulate. All of these fine attributes with virtually no awareness of the positive impact they make on their peers on a daily basis." A staff member wrote, The student is a member and plays 2 sports and is a member of a Greek letter organization. The student has recently organized a major all-campus event this fall for Special Olympics. The student is dedicated with a wonderful personality. She has a positive attitude, enjoys helping others, and is a great role model and is always willing to take the lead. Please help me congratulate Allison Paxton.
At this time, I have the privilege of announcing the John R. Taylor Memorial Award in Liberal Arts. This year's recipient of the John R. Taylor Memorial Award goes to a Bethany faculty who has been here since 1984. Her passion for her students and profession continue to inspire all members of the campus. She is always willing to step in where needed without hesitation. Serving on several committees, boards, and organizations, she is always putting others first. She considers herself honored to have such a fulfilling career, but we are the ones who are truly honored to have her as a part of the Bethany family. Please stand and join me in congratulating Professor Catherine Shellick Furby. At this time, I have the pleasure of announcing the President's Award for Excellence in Performance. The recipient of this year's President's Award for Excellence in Performance is a devoted member of Bethany College and the community. Not only has she had an impact on members of her department, but also the entire campus. Her dedication to recruitment and success of our students is invaluable. She is always willing to go above and beyond to make our incoming students feel like they are a part of the Bethany family, even before they step foot on campus. Please stand and join me in congratulating Becky Pauls. The President's Award for Excellence in Performance on our faculty is an integral part of the Bethany community. This professor works tirelessly to ensure the success of her department and students. Her commitment to the annual scholarship symposium, the Darrell Ponton Mentor Program, never cease to amaze us. She truly exudes what it really means to be a Bethanian. Our students always come first in her book. Please stand once more and help me congratulate Dr. Diane Snyder. It is with great pleasure that I announce the students who have achieved distinction, the distinction of being members of the President's List. They are included in the program. There are the names of 38 students who, through diligent work, have earned a perfect 4.0 with at least 12 graded credit hours during the spring semester of 2018-19 academic year. Would those students who have earned this distinction please stand? I commend you for your achievements and wish you great success as you continue forward in your pursuit of knowledge. We are proud of you here at Bethany. Thank you.
It is with great pleasure that I recognize the students who have achieved the designation of students distinguished in scholarship and who are therefore members of the Dean's List. Included in the program are the names of 70 students who, through diligent work, have earned a 3.65 grade point average or higher during the spring semester of the 2019-2020 academic year. Would those students please stand? Keep standing. It is the judgment of our expert faculty. Oh, get sit down on the stand. It is the judgment of our expert faculty whose deep commitment informs the mission of Bethany College that each of these students has excelled academically and is worthy of this recognition. We commend you for your achievements and wish you great success as you continue forward in your pursuit of knowledge. Please join me in congratulating these students, the members of the Dean's List. It is also my sincere pleasure to get to introduce Justice Elizabeth McClanahan. In 2011, Justice McClanahan was selected to serve as Justice on the Virginia Supreme Court, the fourth woman named to that position in over 230 years. Prior to that, she served for 8 years as a judge on the Court of Appeals of Virginia, and she was Chief Deputy Attorney General in the Office of the Virginia Attorney General from January 2002 through March 2003. Prior to that, she was a shareholder and director in the law firm of Penn, Stewart, and Eskridge. Justice McClanahan earned her Bachelor of Arts degree from the College of William & Mary in 1980 and studied at the Institute for the Study of Hard Mineral Law at Salmon P. Chase Law School at Northern Kentucky University before earning her J.D. from the University of Dayton School of Law in 1984. She's been admitted to practice law in Virginia, Washington, D.C., Maryland, West Virginia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Justice McClanahan received the University of Dayton School of Law Distinguished Alumni Award in 2017, and in 2011 she was named one of Virginia Lawyers Media Influential Women of Virginia. She has also received numerous awards and accolades during her career from a variety of civic and professional organizations. However, on a personal note for me today, Justice McClanahan is a friend, a colleague, and a co-teacher. When she first came to the bench in Southwest Virginia, I was a new pre-law advisor at another institution, and we worked together to place many students, I think I'm counting 10, there might be more, as interns or clerks in her chambers, where she was invaluable as a teacher who helped prepare these students for a life of work. The students we guided together to successful careers as attorneys in a number of different specialties are very special to both of us, and they form a bond between us. It is exciting to have her now as a colleague in deanship and to welcome her to Bethany College. Justice McClanahan.
Thank you, President Rodenberg, Provost Lane, Chief Justice Paxton, students, faculty, and the entire Bethany College community. I appreciate the invitation here today, and I'm delighted to be here. As a Virginian, though, I cannot let this moment pass without saying that Bethany was chartered in 1840 by the Virginia legislature and given all degree-granting powers of the University of Virginia. Has everyone seen the banner here? However, West Virginia's secession from Virginia in 1863 did not even change the relationship between West Virginia and Virginia in this higher ed context. The secession actually recognized existing Virginia charters, so Bethany continued to operate under the Virginia charter. So with this connection with all of you that you have to Virginia, I will share what some say is an arrogant, condescending, lost in the glorious past boast about the Commonwealth of Virginia, also known as the Old Dominion. The Virginian's creed goes like this: to be a Virginian either by birth, marriage, adoption, or even on one's mother's side is an introduction to any state in the Union, a passport to any foreign country, and a benediction from above. Having gone to William & Mary, I'm certain it was somebody from the University of Virginia who wrote that, though it's attributed to Mr. Anonymous. I have to tell you, I am a Virginian by birth, but I am a proud West Virginian on my mother's side. And I am also a member of the West Virginia Bar, as Provost Lane said. I spent all of my summer vacations in wild, wonderful West Virginia with my maternal grandparents, and it is indeed almost heaven. We didn't miss one West Virginia state park, and I challenge all of you to find them all while you're here at Bethany. For new students, whether you are from Virginia or West Virginia, let me officially welcome you to your new home away from home. For returning students, welcome back. When you started classes this fall, you took the next steps in accomplishing all your dreams. Many of you, of course, probably know exactly where your future leads. I'll venture to say that many of you know what major you want to study, and you will finish college with that very degree and go on to practice what that study entails. There are many of you, I'm sure, that are not quite certain what you plan to do and where your time here will lead, and that too is perfectly okay. Remain flexible, know that there will be surprises and unplanned events, and live through them one day at a time. As for unplanned events, I know them all too well. It was Christmas Day, 2006. There were 4 happy and excited children in my home. My 2, ages 6 and 4, and my nieces, who were ages 3 and 1 at the time. The house was filled with the happiness that only Christmas can bring. What an unplanned surprise, the day after, I received a call from a doctor. He said, "You need another mammogram." During this entire breast cancer ordeal, I believe these were some of the toughest times of my life. I didn't know what grade cancer it was. I didn't know whether it was in my lymphatic system, the size of the tumor, whether I would have to have chemo, radiation. But thankfully, almost 13 years later, I'm cancer-free. Praise the good Lord. Thank you. As the book of James promises, the testing of our faith always produces perseverance, and it also teaches life lessons. From cancer, I learned this lesson, and I have named it the 72-hour rule. 72 hours seemed to be my magic number for setting aside the pain and anger I would often feel following a chemo treatment, and the nausea too. I wasn't better 72 hours later, but at least I wasn't getting worse 72 hours later, and I could look at all of life a bit differently. So you're wondering, how do you apply this 72-hour rule to your life in college? Well, I promise you it has nothing to do with the number of hours a day you will be studying in the library. Yay? Although, during comprehensives, you will wish that there were 72 hours in a day. But in any event, applying the 72-hour rule to your life, after a disappointment, a bad grade, or a friend who betrays you, if you wait 72 hours before you post that Instagram message or tweet your views on the matter, you will often find your perspective has changed drastically. There is absolutely no advantage to sending a hastened response when you are hurt, angry, or disappointed. In fact, if you would have to redact the entire email before you showed it to your mother, you should probably wait 72 hours. Waiting 72 hours before sending a response allows your temper to cool, your disappointment to subside, you've figured out a plan for going forward, and you have reevaluated the situation. This rule does not only benefit you, it allows you to achieve your goals. No bridge is burned, and each step we take is a productive one. The journey ahead of you may seem sometimes overwhelming and present these unplanned challenges I've mentioned that seem too rocky, too steep, too narrow. Just as I felt climbing Engineer Mountain in Colorado with an ice axe and crampons and stood on a knife blade edge looking down 13,000 feet. At that moment, I was suddenly reminded of my feelings and experiences as a freshman, like some of you, starting my first year of college at William & Mary, the elevation there only being 300 feet. It wasn't the elevation that scared me. Like many of you, I was far away from home, 425 miles to be exact. I knew one person there and had never taken an AP class. In fact, I didn't even know what AP stood for. I had a Southwest Virginia accent and had not gone to a fancy private school. My first few days there, I knew I was the odd person out when I heard these quotes. One from my classmate, "Oh yes, I know where Buchanan County is. My parents send care packages there every year." And then a professor, "That certainly is an unusual accent here at the College of William and Mary." And then even more recently, when a former classmate at William and Mary, now an attorney, wrote to me and said, "If I'd known you were going to be a Supreme Court justice, I would have actually been your friend at William and Mary." Then there was my first exam day, first semester at the University of Dayton Law School. My anonymous exam number was assigned on that day. It was 666. I am not making this up. In those days, the grades were posted on a wall that we referred to as the Wailing Wall. Can you just see everyone standing around this wall commenting on the poor soul who was randomly assigned the number 666 first semester of law school? I believe an exam number like that should be like the floors in a building. No floor 13, no exam number 666. Despite what seemed like a couple uphill, lonely school battles, I found my place and success at William & Mary and at Dayton. To this day, I remain friends with many of those classmates from 1981 and 1984. And likewise, if you're currently feeling a little fearful, a little alone, a little out of place, know that you too will find your place here at Bethany College. And as you choose which direction to lead to your place here at Bethany, consider guiding your life according to what I call the 3 G's. 1, be grateful. Keep a journal every day and find just one thing to be grateful for. Maybe parents, siblings, guardians, teachers, counselors, coaches, BFFs, teammates, all are investing in your success, support, and future. I actually recently found letters from my freshman year at William & Mary that I'd written to my West Virginia grandparents while I was there. Some of you may connect with these despite the fact that they're 40 years old. It was February 23rd, 1978 on Thursday at 1:54 p.m. I was very detailed with the time that I was writing. "Dear Grandpa and Grandma, boy, do I ever miss home. It's been about 6 weeks since I set foot in a home." Sophomore year, April 1979. "Dear Grandpa and Grandma, I miss the family so badly. It's been 3 weeks now. That's kind of the limit for me." Point is, be grateful. You are healthy. You have food, great food here at Bethany College, right? Some dissent on that? No. After breast cancer, as I tried to figure out a way to cover up my bald head, I was thinking, choose a wig, wear a hat, wear a scarf, just go bald. I actually came to appreciate having hair, and I vowed to never again complain about a bad hair day. Contrast that with, again, 1975. I was in high school at this point. I wrote to my grandparents, "Dear Grandpa and Grandma, thanks so much for the card and the money. I can sure use that money. I really like my curling iron too. I'm still learning how to use it. It's going to take me a while to master it." Second, give. As Dr. Seuss in the Lorax said, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. No matter the day and no matter the circumstances, determine to give something every day. Pick up a piece of trash. Be nice to the person who's waiting on you in the drive-through line. Take the time to give a hug. Be nice to a person. Offer advice to a close one. And as James says, build each other up, don't tear each other down. Hebrews 13:2 tells us, "Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by so doing, some people have shown hospitality to angels without knowing it." And 3, have goals. Everyone has goals here, I'm certain of that, because you wouldn't be here if you didn't. You have to separate your goals from the I wants and the I needs. No doubt that during your time here, some of your wants will conflict with some of your needs. You may want to stay up late with your friends, but you may need to study for an exam. Being a mother is actually the hardest job I've ever had. And in the beginning, I was incredibly overwhelmed, and so I decided I needed to filter this through the prism of 2 short-term goals and 2 long-term goals. Otherwise, I was going to be constantly fretting about everything that happened to me. My long-term goals for my children were to love the Lord and pay taxes. If they were paying taxes, they weren't on my payroll. And if they love the Lord, they can handle the tough times they face through a prism of faith and love. These 3 G's form together like a simple mathematical equation. It's as easy as A plus B equals C. When you are grateful for those who have strengthened you, and you give back to those who have loved and supported you, you will achieve your goals. However, none of this can happen unless you decide to show up, as the president said earlier, and we didn't coordinate this, but we both have the same message: show up. I should probably not share this letter from 1977 to my grandparents, but I actually said, "Dear Grandpa," this was the year of the big flood in Buchanan County, so we missed lots of school. I said, "Dear Grandpa and Grandma, wow, I don't believe we will ever go back to school, but then who cares?" I believe Virginia has passed that law that we only have to make up 15 days. I was already a lawyer at senior year in high school, loving the technicalities. So again, it's your choice whether you get up and go to class or throw away the day. You decide. In order to achieve your goals, I promise you 75% of it is showing up. The night before a recent 5K event, I was at a Virginia Bar Association, and an egotistical attorney and his teenage son were bragging at dinner about how they were going to beat all of us in the 5K race the next morning. But on that Saturday morning at 8 a.m., the braggadocious duo were only to be found in their beds snoozing away. I promise you both of them could have beaten me, but neither did because they never got out of bed. So you can't win a race if you don't show up. You can't make the soccer, basketball, or baseball team unless you go out. And you can't make the A without going to class. You can't be a part of the service club without signing up, and you can't get the job if you don't show up for the interview. I encourage you to be grateful, give, and you will reach your goals. May God bless Bethany, the Commonwealth of Virginia, wild, wonderful West Virginia, and all of you.
Whoops. All hail to thee, bright alma mater, for that's true affection twines closely to thee. How dear to our hearts are the scenes of old Bethany. Godspeed, alma mater, and dear old Bethany. Godspeed, alma mater, and old Bethany. We'll honor and crown thee, O bright alma mater, for thou art the regent of our destiny. We bring thee the gems and the treasures of memory. Godspeed, alma mater, and dear old Bethany. Godspeed, alma mater, and old Bethany.
May the divine bless your eyes with sight, that you may see its presence in every living being. May the divine strengthen your soul with courage, that you may never fear the forces of hatred and division. May the divine fill your heart with love, that you may go forth to do the work of peace and reconciliation. And may you recognize the divine in both neighbor and stranger, in refugees and immigrants seeking safety and asylum in the midst of tragedy. May divine love be with you and bless you and bring you joy all the days of your life. Amen.
Hello?